What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today is the 31st of January 2026, and we're recording this video going over the price action on Nasdaq 100 or NQ for the 30th. That will be Friday, yesterday. So let's get right into the video. Yesterday we had a continued sell-off from the markets. We had quite a sell-off on Thursday. Only took one trade yesterday from around late Asian going into London. Got stopped out and decided to just call it a week, call it a day, and call it a month, because yesterday is the last trading day of January. Kind of glad to be over with January as well, because January has been a bit of a choppy month, not the cleanest price action. So going over the higher time frame, this is what we look like. We close out the monthly candle here. As you can see, we almost made all-time highs on Nasdaq, went all the way up, and then we sold all the way back down to here, reversing over half of the move. We're still setting up for the yearly range, so I didn't like the price action here. Bit of a accumulation, manipulation, went up, and then now so we come back right into the same zone that we've been back and forth through. So I'm expecting us to possibly sell off, with everything that's going on. But the interesting thing is gold that dropped quite heavy yesterday. Well, from the previous day it's been selling off, so pulling back from all-time highs. I had a swing buy that I was holding for about 3 weeks on this thing. I finally closed it around Wednesday before we had this massive sell-off right here. Pretty much double the account that I was trading it on. But yeah, massive sell-off on gold. I think about 30-something% drop on silver. So this is crazy. So we ran up, went to about 120 points on this thing, and yesterday alone we dropped over 49 points. Quite a significant pullback there on silver. But I don't really trade silver, and I kind of left gold a little break. So yeah, but with everything going on, the uncertainty in the market with the different currencies, monetary policy, trade war, everything going on, like there's so much uncertainty. So all of the global indices have been selling off. So this is German 30. We came all the way down. I think I'm going to be including this pair. It's from Germany, Europe. Being as I'm going to have to be trading London session majority of the time, I'm going to be looking at it going forward. So this is German 30. So yeah, that is it on the higher time frame. That's the 4 hour and that's a daily time frame. Let me look now at the 4 hour. This is what the 4 hour look like. So yesterday was an inside day in the middle of Thursday's day, so we didn't quite take out the low, but we closed at the low, filling this week almost. Came pretty close in the afternoon, but we didn't get any follow through to take out the week. I think maybe we're going to retrace a bit and then we continue going back down. This to me looks like a daily order block here that we could even trade back up into before selling off, or we don't even have to get that high, or we could just continue dumping on Nasdaq. Expecting a bit of a consolidation pullback on gold for a little while now. So that's it on the metals, and all of them pull back. Gold, platinum, silver, palladium, copper, all of them sold off yesterday. They've been running for quite some time now, but yeah, This is now the 1 hour time frame, looking still at Nasdaq. So this is what we did yesterday. We retraced a bit into the PM session and we started coming down again, came back up, and then now we sold off to end the day right around here. So, you know, started up here because we closed up here, had a little bit of a opening gap, then we just started to come back down. From the previous day, you know, I took some buys here and I got liquidated, you know, lose to 2.3% before scaling off, and then we back up. So we came right into the new week opening gap and we took out quite a few number of lows. I think this was an internal low from, this would have been Thursday, Wednesday, and we took out Monday, Tuesday and Monday. We didn't take out Monday low, but we took out Tuesday's low. So yeah, that's it on that time frame. On the 15 minutes now, a little bit more refined, looking how we came down in each session. Let's see, refresh. So looking how we came down, we started the day here, traded down, right all the way down. This is where I took the sell and it retraced, stopped me out, and then we did all of this, which is quite ridiculous. I was expecting us to sell off from here, but we had to manipulate, take me out, and then come down during London going into New York. So came all the way down, went back up during late London, and then we just chopped around in New York before we finally broke down. Didn't take any trades or even look at the market much during New York. It was a mess right here. So this is like roughly 20 bars, 15-minute bars of consolidation. Like not the cleanest price action there you want to be trading. So I didn't take anything. There were some opportunities, but when you're at work and you're not focused, then I can't get to snipe with the precision that I'd like. So I just decided to leave it alone and save myself the headache. Now, let's go into the executions. This is the trade that I took. Pull up this chart. Where is it? Come on. Alright, let me just go back to trading view. Being as this chart kind of acting up a bit. I think MT5 might be updating or something. So let me just show you from here. So I came home from work. I missed the sell-off that took place in Asia, the early part of Asia, because we opened at the highs here, internal highs here, and where we just started coming down. So the first macro we had a decent sell-off right around, this would have been around 9 before we started to buy back up. So I was looking at this thing. I could have taken a buy here, but at this time I wasn't even home yet. So this was a beautiful buy coming up here for a nice risk to reward. So that was one of the first trades of the day. Even from here right around 8:30 thereabout, there was a sell-off right there. Beautiful sell-off inside this macro here. You could have entered right there and target the lows. This is actually 1 to 10, you know. And we had another re-entry right inside of this area right here. So we had that zone like that. Mark it as a OB, even though it's not really another block, but we traded back up into it, respected it here. Well, respected this fair value gap right here. So this fair value gap couldn't close above it, and then we had this other block trade into it, and then we came down. So this was another entry from early Asia session. So early Asia session, we had two sell entries, then we had a buy. This buy is outside of the macro window. We had this reversal coming up here, and this is the reason why I took the sell right here. So I took a sell, I think right around here. Entry wasn't the cleanest because of the spreads, but I entered right here and my stops were above this high. Really and truly, my stops should have been up here, to be honest, when I'm looking back at this. So I guess to play it safe, my stops should have been all the way above these highs. And so I got liquidated, but I was expecting us to just continue down. Even if we retrace, wasn't expecting us to come and sweep these highs right here. But we came above, and I just call it there and decided to, you know, that's it for the trading. So I was risking like 0.5% here, and this trade would have netted me about this would be 1 to 5. So this could have given me 2.5% to the lows here, if I, because this is where I had the TP, and it would have hit TP right around 3:30 thereabout. But I decided, you know what, I had already been down 2.5% from in the day, so I just call it a day. However, we retraced because I was expecting us to go bullish. I was looking at my phone, and then I just decided, you know, let me just go to bed here. So looking back now, I see where we actually came into it's this actual order block right here. So it's this candle that we traded into, and then we sold off. And the perfect entry would have been right around midnight for this macro right there. So that macro would have been the ideal entry right inside of there. So it's, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Right around there where we had that macro would have been the ideal entry place, you know, to continue. But being as I'm looking for some precise entries, that was where I entered. But I saw the trade opportunity from here, and my bias was bearish. We had already retraced enough from the PM session, and that was the reason why I'm thinking we would be going short. So this was the PM. We did all of these retracements. I was expecting us to come down all the way down right now. So I wasn't expecting us to retrace back all the way up here, even though I had this zone, but this was my first attempt. I possibly could have re-entered, but you know, wasn't feeling the hottest after taking so many losses, and I just decided to just not risk anymore. But this would have given me the same risk to reward here for the 12 p.m. macro. Nice little sell off, and I could have held this for even more than the 1 to 5 if I held until down here. So we had one opportunity there, another one here. This is 1 to 11. We had another entry here. One here inside this macro, not this is cleanest, but this is when London, well, Frankfurt came in, and then we had London here. London came in with a nice little sell-off right there. So we sold going into London, and then we started to range a bit. So we had those entry opportunities, then we got some buys. Wasn't bullish, but this was still a valid buy in this macro. We did a sweep, came down, swept again, and got a little retracement, but this would have been a sell-off, nice little sell, even though we didn't take out the lows, but this would have given us another entry. So this would have been another entry for us to continue going down. Pretty tight stop, targeting the lows. This would have been a 1 to 4 thereabout. Then we came back into the new week opening gap, and this is when we had this change in state of delivery, and we could have gotten some buy opportunities in this macro. This would have been right around 5 a.m. So 5, buy here, entry here again. This wasn't the cleanest. We had a little spike down, so I wouldn't have capitalized on this. So another entry here right around 5 a.m. We're going all the way up. And all of these trades, if you check them, these are like 1 to 5 at least. So this one is actually 1 to 6. If you entered right there, 1 to 6 if your stops are right there. So we came all the way up there, and came into New York session right around there, and we started to move sideways. Not the cleanest entry right here, but we did come into this fair value gap right here. So this fair value gap came into it before we rallied up, and this was another opportunity to take some sales from. So sell opportunity right inside of here, coming down, and no follow through. That's right there. Consolidation before we got into the volatility injection at 9:30, and this is where the chop started. So right around 10 came down, came back up, and 11 gave us the clean sell. So the sell came in at 11 right here for another 1 to 5 in less than half hour, right around half hour or 45 minutes right there. A sell there, and then another one here right around minutes to 12. So sell off there, and then some retracement buys, and then another sell off right around midday for the lunch hour macro. Coming all the way down, we got 2 entry opportunities, one there, coming down. And by the time we got to PM session, we had another entry for some buys. Spiked up, came back down to retest, had a little bit of an inversion here, or even here. You could have entered for some buys going up, but I'm not buying, so waited until PM session. This is the 2 p.m. 4 hour candle opening, traded up, did the little manipulation, and then we started coming down, and this is where we close out the week and the month. So trade it down, then come back up, and that is where we call it a day for power hour. So currently I'm down about 6%, 6 point some percent on the account. Need to do some serious work to recover. I'll be cutting the risk a bit down to about 1/4% for some of the trades, depending on how I'm feeling, and try to recover the account. But that is it for this video. Until next time, guys, peace.